Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry. Today, we're diving straight into an in-depth explainer on front office operations. Specifically, we'll be breaking down the absolute twin pillars of our industry, training and performance appraisals.
Here's the quick syllabus for our masterclass today. We're going to cover number 1, the living classroom. Number 2, diverse modalities of learning. Then we'll hit 3, the architecture of appraisals. Move right into 4, quantifying excellence through KPIs, and wrap it all up with number 5, cultivating a learning culture. By mapping out this whole employee lifecycle, we're going to chart the exact course from developing raw talent all the way to consistently delivering that 5-star excellence.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the living classroom. This is really our foundational ethos.
So this idea right here is the absolute bedrock of what we do at the Europe Hotel School London. Think about it. In the super fluid, demanding world of international hospitality, what's actually your most valuable asset? You know, it's not the Italian marble in the lobby, and it's definitely not the 800 thread count sheets. It's the collective expertise of your staff. For a front office manager, the job absolutely does not end the second you hire a talented person. Honestly, that's just the starting line. The real magic happens when you continuously refine that talent to meet incredibly high-end service standards. The hotel itself has to become a living classroom, where literally every single shift is a fresh opportunity to learn and grow.
Now, why is this continuous training so absolutely crucial? Well, the hospitality landscape is always shifting, right? We're constantly adapting to completely new property management systems, or PMS. We've got to stay on top of the evolving expectations for digital check-ins, and, of course, we always need to be educating ourselves on the cultural nuances of our international guests. But here is the real kicker. Effective training does way more than just teach technical skills. It builds the psychological foundation of your team. When a staff member is well-trained, their confidence just skyrockets. Suddenly, they can handle massive pressure, like, say, a fully booked hotel during a massive citywide convention, and they do it with a completely calm, professional demeanor. That kind of confidence directly translates to higher productivity and much happier guests. Simply put, when you invest in training, you are directly investing in your property's reputation.
Moving right along to Section 2, learning modalities. Let's look at the actual methods of delivery.
So we know the why, but what about the practical how? A truly comprehensive training program leans on a solid 4-pillar approach. First up, induction training. This is your critical onboarding phase for new hires, where the brand's culture, safety protocols, and standard operating procedures are really drilled in for the first time. Next, we have on-the-job training, or OJT. This is where the rubber meets the road. Live environment application. Then comes refresher training, which is incredibly important because, let's face it, over time, standards can kind of slip as people develop their own little shortcuts. Refresher courses bring everybody back to the core brand standards and get them up to speed on new software patches. Finally, there's cross-training. This is where you might teach a receptionist the basics of reservations or even housekeeping. It creates multi-skill flexibility, meaning you can deploy your staff exactly where they are needed most during those crazy peak periods.
Let's zoom in on-the-job training for a second, because it's arguably the single most effective live environment learning tool we have in a hotel. Look, we don't just toss people behind the front desk and hope for the best. We follow a very strict 3-step progression. Step 1 is observation, just shadowing. The trainee watches a senior staff member handle real, live guest interactions. Step 2 is assisted tasks. Now the trainee actually takes the keyboard, but the senior staff member is hovering right there to guide them or jump in if things get tricky. And step 3 is independent execution. The trainee operates autonomously, but still within a nice supportive environment. This controlled step-by-step transition, that is exactly how we build that unshakable psychological confidence we were just talking about.
Okay, let's transition into Section 3, appraisal architecture. This is all about evaluating performance.
Now, if training is the how-to of service, appraisals are the how-well, and we need a critical mindset shift here. Yes, a performance appraisal is a formal, structured evaluation, but it should absolutely never be viewed as a policing exercise. Seriously, that is an outdated, frankly ineffective management style that just breeds resentment. The correct approach, especially in a 5-star environment, is to view the appraisal as a coaching opportunity. It's a prime moment for a leader to sit down, look objectively at contributions, and genuinely figure out how to best support that team member's ongoing growth. To get that awesome coaching dynamic, you've got to have a structured appraisal loop. It all kicks off at the start of the year by establishing very clear, measurable performance standards. I mean, you can't evaluate what you haven't defined, right? Then, throughout the year, the manager monitors progress through direct observation and actual guest feedback. When it's time for the actual appraisal meeting, you sit down, discuss achievements, pinpoint the areas that need a little tweaking, and crucially, set clear goals for the future. Having this predictable, structured dialogue ensures that your employees actually feel heard. They understand exactly what they need to do to progress up the hotel hierarchy.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 4, quantifying excellence through objective KPIs.
So how do we make sure these coaching conversations stay completely objective? We do it by using key performance indicators, or KPIs. Think of these as our yardsticks for success. For instance, let's take a look at upselling conversion rates. By tracking the percentage of standard arrivals that a front desk agent actually manages to upgrade to a higher room category, we get this incredibly pure, objective metric of their revenue-generating ability. There's zero guesswork involved. The data is staring you right in the face, ready to be discussed during the appraisal.
Another massive KPI is guest satisfaction scores, or GSS. When you chart out these scores, which come straight from direct guest surveys, managers can instantly segment their team. It becomes super clear who your top performers are, the ones maybe ready for a promotion. You see your steady average performers, and you immediately spot the folks who might need some extra coaching and support. Relying on GSS takes all the messy emotion out of the evaluation and focuses everyone entirely on the guest's actual perception of the service.
To sum it all up, there's a core set of essential KPIs that literally every elite front office tracks. You've got average check-in time, which is a great measure of efficiency, though it obviously always has to be balanced against the actual quality of the welcome. We've got guest satisfaction scores for service quality and upselling conversion rates for revenue. And please, never overlook attendance and punctuality. Those are the most basic professional standards, but they reflect an employee's reliability and their basic respect for the rest of the team. Put all these metrics together, and they paint a really complete, fair picture of how an employee is doing.
All right, final module, Section 5, Cultivating Culture. Let's talk about building a true learning environment.
This culture we're talking about, that is the ultimate long-term result of literally everything we've covered today. The absolute most successful hotels globally are the ones where the staff genuinely wants to learn. And as a front office manager, you actively build that culture by using a few specific tactical steps. First off, you have to celebrate educational milestones. When somebody levels up, recognize it. Make a big deal out of it. Reward initiative. You can implement certified trainer programs, which elevates your best staff into mentorship roles. And hey, provide internal rewards for completing online hospitality modules, just like the ones you're working through right now. When you put these practices into play, staff morale stays incredibly high because they can see a clear, tangible path for their own professional growth.
And that brings us to what might be the single most powerful takeaway of this entire program. This is the absolute truth of the hospitality industry. When people feel they are growing, they stay. When they feel stagnant, they leave. It really is that simple. Creating that sense of forward progress is the greatest deterrent to staff turnover out there. So, training and appraisals, they aren't just administrative chores to be checked off a manager's list. No way. They are the very beating heart of human resource management, staff retention, and true operational excellence in the front office.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Really a challenge for you as future leaders in hospitality. How are you going to build a sustainable culture of learning in your hotel? How will you make sure your property is a true living classroom? Thank you so much for your focus today. Take these concepts, apply these elite standards, and go continue to elevate the incredible world of hospitality.